Om Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Satya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam, State Syllabus 10th class, second part of science, where we have to study about a human eye and colorful world. Let us see some details about human eye. Okay, I think you are all ready now. Open your textbooks, get your rough book and pen to write down some points. Okay, I think you are all interested to know about our human eye. When you say eye, there are two eyes, EYE and I. I means we refer to our body, also it is called as ego, and EYE refers to the human eyes, what we have two eyes, right? So for this, what you have studied earlier is contents we studied earlier. Light is a form of energy. There are different forms of energy, right? Like electric energy, magnetic energy, atomic energy, sound energy, and so on. So also light is also a form of energy. And also we know what are the uses of light. We can see objects, we can see the beautiful world, right, by the help of light. And what is the main source of light? Sunlight, right? So then secondly, we have also studied about properties of light, namely reflection and refraction in the previous chapter. Do you remember? Laws of reflection, laws of refraction. Also studied about mirrors, plane mirror, concave mirror, convex mirror, and its properties and uses. Also you have studied about a formula, mirror formula, 1 by V plus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. V stand for image distance, U stand for object distance, F stand for focal length. And also different uses of mirrors. The drivers, what they use, called rear view mirror. And also for shaving purpose, the mirror what we use, and dentists use concave mirror, and so on. Also you have studied about lenses. Refraction is a property by which a ray of light changes its direction when it passes from one medium to another. For example, a rainbow is a very good example. Also you have seen about, heard about glass slab, how the ray of light bends, right? A very simple example is, if you keep your finger in a water filled with a glass filled with water, the finger looks bulged, right? That's all because of refraction. Very beautiful phenomenon, refraction, right? Also you might have heard about the fishes kept in aquarium. Very small fishes look to be very big in size. That is because of a beautiful property called refraction. And also you have studied about lenses. Lens is a transparent medium. When a ray of light gets refracted, when it passes through that, there will be two kinds of lenses. One is called concave lens, another is called convex lens. Mainly, when you say concave, it's double concave. When you say convex, you have double convex. So the size of the images in different positions means when the object is kept at infinity, kept at beyond 2f, at 2f, between f and 2f, like that, okay, and then respective images are formed. When you say images, there are two kinds of images. One is called the real image, another is called virtual image. Real image will be inverted and it can be caught on the screen, whereas a virtual image is erect, it cannot be caught on screen, right? So these are all the things you have already studied, or this is a knowledge you already know some basics about it. And let us now see some details about eye. I think all of you have two eyes, and you should also think why you should have two eyes. We heard about Lord Shiva having three eyes called Mukkanna, and all of us human beings and most other animals have two eyes. Why only two? You would have either had one, or you would have three or four, etc., etc. No, it's all God's creation, right? So our human body is a very beautiful, or it is called the most precious. Jantunam na dharma durlabham. Out of 84 lakhs of species, the one and the only one with brain or with discrimination power is a man. And one of the most important organs of man is eye. And here we refer it as human eye. I also told about that word EYE. One of the most valuable sensitive sense organs. When you say sense organs, there are 5 sense organs. So our body is like a chariot. The 5 horses, as there will be 5 horses for the chariot, so also our body has got 5 senses. One of them is eye, to see things. To hear, what we have? 2 ears, right? To touch, we have a skin. To taste, you have a tongue. To smell, you have got nose. These are called sensory organs, out of which the most valuable, one of the most valuable, because we don't understand the importance of an organ. Only when it is not there, then we see the importance. If you ask a blind man and go and ask him, what is the importance of an eye? Of course, you must note that a blind man will have all other organs more active, but he can't see the colorful world. So this colorful world can be seen as it is. So you can see the colors also, and we can see the wonders also, only if you have 2 eyes. Of course, some of them will have eye, but they can't see because of some defects in the eye. So let us see some details about the eye. I think this is a thing. From today onwards, you should be more informative about eye. Even though we have eyes, we don't know importance. What is this called? This with hair in the upper portion of the eye is called as eyebrows. What does it do? Any sweat or anything that comes here above this portion will be, all the sweat will come down like this. They do not enter the eye. Otherwise, when you do work, physical work in the farm, on the fields, lot of sweat will come. That sweat will enter the eye. So such a beautiful arrangement, See, in God's creation, namely human body, we have got all the parts of the body kept in a proper position. Here if you come to the eye this is kept in a socket. If you just touch the position of the eye this is fully surrounded by bones, kept safely in the socket of the bones. So that's why Swami says, be grateful to God who has created this human body, and this body having all different organs. Every organ is very important. even if one organ is not working properly, there will be lot of problems. Now, in the today's class, we will see the different parts of the eye and also its functions, right? So, this is the human eye which I was just referring to. So, human eye is like a camera. Have you heard camera? Of course, nowadays everybody knows about camera, and in mobile also you'll have a camera. What does the camera do? It takes a photo of a person, of a plant, or of a bird, or any beautiful nature, right? And that takes the photo of that. So actually the word photo means light, with the help of light. Here also this eye is like a camera. We will see the difference between eye and a camera in later. Now let us see the details of the eye. So this is what is called eyebrow, and mainly there are three layers in the eye. See this portion, front portion, where the light enters the eye through a thin membrane, it is called as cornea. This portion, the front portion is called as cornea, and there is a lens system, forms an image of the light sensitivity screen called as retina. So here there are three layers you can see. One is called sclera, outermost portion, the blue color, it's called sclera. Inside that sclera you have choroid. Inside that you have got retina. Retina acts like a screen. This is the screen portion. You can see now. The innermost portion is called as retina. Here the images are formed. This is called fovea, where the images are formed, and there is a beautiful lens here. This lens, there is a double convex lens. As you have a lens in a camera, here also there will be a convex lens. But here this lens is made up of a thin membrane, and there will be a kind of liquid inside, and that is called as aqueous humor. Suppose something falls into eye, immediately the tears start coming, right? Even if a thorn is entered your food, immediately it starts crying. Sometimes out of fear also it starts crying. Thinking of somebody also it cries. So many things are there. So there are two kinds of liquids here inside. One is called aqueous humor. That is in between this iris and cornea, in between the region, you have got a liquid called as aqueous humor. And there is one more here that is called as vitreous humor. That are two liquids which helps for the movement of the parts of the eye. For example, this aqueous humor helps for the movement of this iris, and for the elongation or contraction of the iris it helps, and also for the movement of the lens also. So, and there will be what is called as ligaments. The ligaments, they attach this lens to this retina, so they are supported by that. So here all the parts of the eye are very, very important. You might have seen some persons wherein the lens can be replaced also nowadays. They replace the animal's lens also. Goats or sheep or some other animals lens also they replace. And there is a different technology. There is a laser technology is also there. So anyway, and these are called eyelashes. The hair, in the lower portion of the eye, they are called eyelashes. And the most important point is why these eyelashes are there. Suppose somebody peers on your eyes, something like this. Suddenly it closes. So every wink there will be what is called as closing of the eye and opening of the eye. Automatically it happens without the notice of ours, right? So that is called involuntary. Without our permission, they will close and open. So that is for the safety of the eye. And that is why Baba says, suppose you don't want to see a scene, especially in TV or mobiles, you must close it. And there are the two organs which have got lids to close. One is mouth. Suppose you don't want to talk something, and if you want to be silent, shut up your mouth. Nor musko, in Telugu we call it. And suppose you don't want to see a thing, you close your eyes. That's why eyelids are given. And these hair, that is called eyelashes. And these are the lids just to cover. Suppose when a bright light enters your eye, you can't see it properly, right? And then you have eyelids there. And this black portion is called iris. All of you have seen, if you see in a mirror, there will be one white portion. And the white portion is nothing but what you call it as the sclera portion. And then there will be one black portion that is called as pupil. We will see some more details of this. And this is also a very important part of the eye called as optic nerve. Whatever body or whatever scene is seen, that is sent by the help of nerves. Just like computers, it acts like a computer. So whatever object it sees by the lens, and that image is formed here, and that image is immediately sent to the brain by the help of what is called as optic nerve. So try to practice this figure. Okay, now let us see some more details or some more parts. And one of the important parts, as I just now told you, transparent bulged portion, the front surface is called eyeball. In Kannada we call it as kannu gudde. It is transparent. Transparent means what? Light will pass through it. And that is a bulged portion. That is called eyeball. The eyeball is approximately spherical in shape with a diameter of about 2.3 centimeters. Diameter. That is all arrangement is made in our body, starting from head to toe. Everything is calculative, everything is specifically made. Okay, so this diameter is around 2.3 centimeters. Here, what does it do? The light gets refracted, means it passes through that. So the entry position of the light is nothing but the eyeball, and there it enters through what is called as cornea. Okay, and then there will be a crystalline lens provides the finer adjustment of focal length required to focus the objects at different distances of the retina. So the lens, crystalline lens, and that lines can be adjusted, means it can be made bigger also, it can be made smaller also, all internal arrangement. For example, in a matinee, what is matinee? Of course, you are all experts. Some of them you have already gone to films, But there will be morning show, matinee, and night show. Okay, first show, second show, and so on. I didn't see much films. Earlier, when I was a student, I used to see very rarely. But a matinee show means lunch time, hot sun. So what happens? You will go into the theatre. When you go from outside, light will be very high, very powerful. When you enter the theatre will be fully dark. Now what happens? You can't see anything. They will have a small torch and show you. Go to that place, go to this place, like that. And the lens, the lens has to be adjusted. So what happens? The lens will become more in that size. Similarly, when the interval comes in the middle, 1.5 hours or so, there will be interval. Will you come out? When you come out of the theatre, again the lens has to be adjusted because it was fully dark inside the theatre. When you come outside, fully light, again the lens has to be adjusted. So there is a beautiful arrangement of adjustment inside. That is what is called as finer arrangement, finer adjustment of focal length. What is focal length? Distance between the optic center and the focus, principal focus. The distance is called f. We already studied in the previous chapter, denoted by the word f. So focal length of the objects, that is what is called focus. In camera you might have seen how they focus. They will go little back, little left, little right, like that adjustment they say, no. Here everything is adjusted permanently, all inside. So focus of the objects at different distances can be made in the retina. Here the lens will help for that to take the images, right? And there is a iris, I just now shown the place, the dark muscular diaphragm behind the retina which controls the size of the pupil. So the light that enters the eye will be controlled by this iris. The pupil regulates and controls the amount of light entering the eye. Just now I was telling about that. When you go from darkness to light and from darkness to light to darkness, there will be, you have to adjust. All this is possible by pupil. So these are different parts of the eye, and now let us see how does the eye work. First of all, the eye lens forms an inverted image of the object. So here, suppose you see a body like this here, say a flower or a man standing here, that the rays of light pass through that. It passes through pupil and the iris, these muscles will help. It passes through convex lens, as I just now told you, and a real image is formed here. And when the image is formed, you see this leaf here like this, it becomes like this because it is called inverted. Immediately this message will go through what is called as optic nerves, and these optic nerves send the messages to the brain. So what happens? The first step is eye lens forms an inverted image and this real image of the object on the retina. So the portion where it is just like a screen, here in that screen there will be what is called as two rods, two cells, light sensitive cells. They are called as cones and rods. These cones and rods are the two kinds of cell what you find in the retina, and they have the capacity. Cones, they are got light sensitive cells. This is what is called as light sensitive cells, and these cells get activated upon illumination. So the light is controlled by cones and the color is controlled by rods and generate electrical signals. So when you see an object, there will be formation of signals, and these signals are sent to the brain. Now brain is a wonderful, something like a computer center. Brain is very important. All our activities, all our thoughts, words, actions, everything is controlled by brain. Just like the capital city, all actions will be there through optic nerves, And in the optic nerve also there are some regions where in optic nerve there will be what is called as near that there will be yellow spot and blind spot. In the blind spot there will be no formation image because it is light sensitivity is not there. But in yellow spots it forms, it is sent through what is called as optic nerves, and the brain interprets these signals and finally process the information so that we perceive the object as they are. Just now I told you, when you see an object, the inverted image is formed here and inverted image is sent to the brain. The brain makes it real. Suppose you see a man, the head will come down here and legs will be up inside the eye. But when it goes to the brain, that image will be set right. So as we see here the object, same image will be seen when it comes from the brain. So this is how the human eye works. Now let us see some of the important definitions which refers to eye. One is called power of accommodation. You heard about accommodations, right? In a hotel or in a hostel, etc., they give accommodation. First floor, second floor, third floor, like that. Room number 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay? And they go on filling up. Even buses also, trains also, they fill up as per vacancies. Similarly, our eye has got some capacity. Ability of the eye lens to adjust its focal length is called as accommodation. Means, suppose you want to see a small objects, you have to adjust the focal length. And if you want to see a big objects, again you have to adjust. All this adjustment of the focal length by the help of the eyes, this is the ability of the eye, is called as accommodation. This can be achieved by modification of the eye lens by the help of ciliary muscles. I told you already about the ciliary muscles, which will help for elongation or contraction of the lenses. And there are 2 points here. One is called as near point, or it is also called least distance. See, here is one student like you who has kept the book very near to the eye. Just try now. If you bring your book very near to the eye, you can't read it because your eye will not adjust to that. So what is required? The minimum distance at which the object can be seen most distinctly is 25 centimeters. It's called the least distance or near point of the eye. Means you cannot see the objects clearly when it is brought within 25. Of course 20 you can read very hardly. It is very harmful. You should not, that's why while reading, you should keep at least 1 foot distance from your book to the eyes. You can adjust yourself now. And also, of course, then it comes, this is called near point. I think you are clear about the near point. Near point means what? Minimum distance at which the object can be seen most distinctly. You must be able to read distinctly. And some have the bad habits. Even I also had it earlier. While journeying, they will be reading. Of course, in train journey, okay. In a flight or in the buses, you are not supposed to read it. Because the eyes will vibrate. And also the letters also vibrate. It gives strain to the eyes. So you should see that they should not get strain. So by keeping your book very near to your eyes will give strain to the eye. So that is why you should always bear in mind the distance must be 25 centimeters. Below that it is not advisable. So here what happens? This accommodation is done by a muscles called as ciliary muscles. And there is what about far distance? Far point of the eye. The farthest point to which the eye can see objects is called as far point of the eye. It is infinity. There is no limit actually. and means that you can, by standing here you can see long distance. Suppose you want to the other end of the sky, you can, of course again it is limited, but we see it as infinity, we call it. Suppose you go to a seashore and you see a small ship coming in distance, you can see it, all those who have got good eyes. So far point means farthest point up to which the eye can see the objects clearly. Clearly is important. It's called as far point of the eye. You can see a gentleman here now, and he is reading now the correct distance of about a foot from the eyes. And suppose if you are not making the eyes use properly, then you get a defect. And one of the defect is called as cataract. You can see a gentleman here, aged man. Even your grandparents, some of them, even your father, mother also sometimes young kids also nowadays, because of seeing TV too much, they get what is called as cataract. What is that cataract? Sometimes the crystalline lens of the people at old age becomes milky and cloudy. This condition is called as cataract. This causes the partial or complete loss of vision. And how to solve it? That is by surgery. So what is cataract? It is the layer formation on the eyes. It is like a milky and cloudy layer formation on the eye. From where it comes? It comes from the liquids. I told no, there are two kinds of liquids, aqueous humor and vitreous humor. And that liquids, becomes a small layer inside the eye, and by which you are not able to read properly or write properly. So sometimes it is partial. Partial means little you can read, or sometimes it is complete loss of vision. So what is the solution? You have to get it operated. The layer that forms on the eyes is to be removed. And Baba says it's just like the ignorance. Ignorance is like the layer that forms on the eyes. So what is the solution? Ignorance should be removed by wisdom. So also the cataract should be removed by the help of small operations. And do you know what is the branch of medicine connected to eye? Do you know? It's called as ophthalmology. Some of you may become doctors. You should know different branches of medicines. One of them is called ophthalmology, one of the most sensitive parts. What is the study of bones called? Orthopedics. Study of the ear and nose, we call it as ENT, ear, nose, throat, like that. So different parts. And similarly, this is a defect of the eye, it should be done surgery. Surgery means what? The layer should be removed. It's a very minor operation. Within a few minutes they will do it off. I have seen Dr. Modi. You might have heard about Dr. Modi. Swami gave him a watch with the eye shape. Every day he used to operate about 300 operations. I have seen in Chikbalapur, where the 300 operations were done in a single day. All this cataract. And they will give one spectacles, black spectacles, not to see the light for a few days, for 10 days. So this is one of the defect of the eye. And also there are some more things you must note about eye. Damage or malfunction of any part of the visual system can lead to significant loss of visual functioning. For example, we are not able to see objects clearly for some time when we enter the bright light to a room with dim light. So, for example, in a matinee show, I already told you, we cannot see the objects inside. where are the seats and what is the vacancy, all those things. So why it happens? Here the pupil of the eye act like a variable aperture whose size can be varied with the help of iris. So you have to adjust the eyes. So that is one thing you must note. So in such cases what you must do? You must wait for some time. When you just enter the theatre or any dark place when you come from outside, you wait for some time because our eyes will take some time to adjust. So this is called loss of visual functioning. You are not able to see the objects clearly. That is because the arrangement that is present in our eyes. And one more thing is, we already seen all of us have two eyes instead of one. You may wonder why God has created two eyes. Two eyes because to have a wider field of view, ability to detect faint objects enhanced with the two detectors. What happens? As I told just now, there will be optic nerves connected to brain, right? So here we can see up to 180 degrees. The vision in a camera it is only 60 degrees. Here it is 180 degrees vision. And both the eyes, even though they see the same objects, the real image is formed in the retina that is sent to brain by the help of optic nerves. So these two will be giving a very good image of the objects. But there are some animals, especially prey animals, which have their two eyes positioned on opposite side of their heads, front and back, to give the widest possible of view, to see any other animals coming from behind, any other persons come behind and all. They will have two eyes on opposite sides. And one more interesting thing you should know, suppose you close your eye, one of the eyes, we can see only two-dimensional figures. Two-dimensional means what? Length and breadth. Circle, rectangle, then square, etc. etc. Whereas if you have two eyes, we can see three-dimensional, means L, B, H, length, breadth, height, all the three we can see. Suppose you see an apple, you can see the thickness of the apple. Same apple if you see in one eye, we will see only the outer skin, the front portion, that's all. You cannot see the back portion. So this is a very interesting point. You can try all this, what I told. Not keeping the book very near to the eyes, keeping a distance, what happens, all those things. And this two-dimension, three-dimension thing you understood, which has got only length and breadth is called two-dimensional. Length, breadth, height, all the three are called three-dimensional. So if both the eyes are there, we can see three-dimensional objects. If only one eye we can see, you can just try yourself, close your eye with one of the eyes and see is it true or not. So seeing is believing. And let us work out some homeworks now. First question, what do you mean by power of accommodation of the eye? Second question, what is far point and near point of the human eye? With the normal vision means youngsters, adults. Of course, it varies from child to aged people. Aged people will have different thing. We are referring to normal vision for ordinary persons. This is a multiple choice question. So here there will be, you have to write answers, subdivisions, right? The human eye forms the image of an object at its cornea, iris, pupil, retina. The change in the focal length of an eye lens is caused by the action of dash. It fill up pupil, retina, ciliary muscles, iris. Will you write answer for this? Come prepared for next class. Okay. I hope you understood something about the eye. We will see some more details in the next class. Okay. I hope you will go through the lesson, draw the figures of the eye, practice all the parts, some 3-4 times you must practice because it is an important question. draw any diagram of human eye and label the parts. So practice that. So wish you all best of luck. Thank you.